To my listeners, to my viewers, I greet you all. Allow me to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. If it's your first time in my channel, you're most welcome. If you've been here before, you're welcome one more time. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe on the button below. It is my pleasure that you join me today by sharing with you a topic very crucial but simple at the same time, which is entitled Choosing You. Some people call it Do You, some people call it Being Yourself. The only person you will ever be true to is you and not any other person. From experience, I have done it before. Many people who speak out their mind, who stand for their truth, or have a firm stand on their faith, on their instincts, on their thoughts, tend to be somehow feared, somehow rejected, somehow seem to be, carrying out themselves in high regard. Fine, all those descriptions, we accept them, and it has no problem at all. Accept them. Accepting who you are, being who you are, that's the best thing and the best gift you can give to yourself, because you can never lie for yourself. Never will you ever lie for yourself. You might lie to somebody. It may not pain you, it may not pinch you. But there is satisfaction that comes when you do your all, when you do your best, when you do you without counterfeit, without copycats, without just doing it for the sake of doing it. So, why would you do yourself? Choosing you is the only way to go. This is the only way you can thrive to the world. I've been curious many times about myself. From how I'm created, to how I react to things, to how people take me or see me. For a very long time, very, very long time in my life, that was such a worry to me. But after learning from people for a long, long time, after the experiences that I received, I chose to make myself better. I chose to make myself feel good. And I stopped worrying about other people's opinion about me or what they feel about me. Because at least that is the least they can do or the most they can do. But I am the one. I am who I am, and they cannot change me. They cannot make me to be who they want me to be. It is me who wants me to be what I am. And don't get me wrong, you will be listening to advices from different people. Some could be your elderly ones, some could be experienced, but that is what worked for them. There is no guarantee that whatever worked for them is going to work for you. Should you want to try it, go ahead and try it. But have your way, not as a backup, but as a first priority. Their advices could be a backup. Remember, you're original and you're not a copy. So one more time, mark it. Whatever works for someone else might not be the same thing working for you. So go with your own feeling first, own opinion first. It took me such a long time to digest that. It took me such a long time to change that because I was always worried about other people. I was always worried how they would take me, how they will feel, and all that. But after a while, do they care? They don't. They do not care. Darling, choose you and choose you always. Do you and do you always. Pray to God to give you direction. May you never alter your thoughts for someone else. Never alter your feelings for someone else. It takes time to learn, as I said, to know yourself. Once you know yourself, go to the mirror, look at yourself, accept that being before you. Because if you don't accept yourself in the first place, then you will never believe in any step that you take. Other challenges could be that it might take a while, as I mentioned before. But it doesn't matter how long it takes. The most important thing is for you to discover who you are. Sometimes it would be scary, especially for those people who are always afraid of being different from others. You might be different from others, not that you're doing the wrong or you're on the wrong side. But your answers could as well be ideally correct. So, if you feel that scary part, or you feel scared at the beginning, try one more time and try one more time. Sometimes you would fail on the decisions that you make by yourself. But many a times, I assure you, it's not a failure. There's some kind of genius in it. You will always succeed. Why? Because you have already known and evaluated yourself. You know your strength. You know your weakness. You know what kind of opportunity that you can take. And you are also sober in your thoughts. Don't wait for somebody to decide for you what to do. Don't wait for people to decide for you on what to do. As I said, the only way that you know that is after accessing yourself. Once you assess yourself, you're good to go. Validation. The only person who should validate you is God, because the rest are all human like you. Nobody's perfect. Nobody will ever be perfect. Nobody's righteous, and nobody will ever be righteous, not unless they make the Lord their God to be in them, and they too dwell in the Lord. That is the only way we have righteousness coming in. But otherwise, brethren, choose to do you always. That is a gift that you can give yourself, your generation, or as you may say, odd one out. Some people call them odd one out. Well, fine, myself, I'm good with being odd one out. As I said, I don't have to be you, and you do not have to be me. I remember sometimes I would have some conversation with some of my family members. By then, I didn't know what the future holds. And thank God, by the way, that as far as we may know that the following day will be this particular day of the week, or this particular date of the month or the year, we never know what it holds. Because if we knew some of these things, we would have fled long ago. We wouldn't have waited for them to happen, for us to face them. But anywho, every day, let it come on its own way. When it comes, you will always find the tools to face it. So it really doesn't matter what will become. But it matters a lot when you're the person facing that day is good enough, prepared enough to face it. So the conversation that I had with these people, like, I'm blessed to an extent that I don't think I will ever go hungry. At least when I know that there's something I can do about it. I'm not fortunate than many others outside there. But what I was trying to let them know that I will always do anything within my reach, within my power, to have that meal. So some of them would say, oh, I know you would make it in life. You can do it, A, B, C, D, blah, blah, blah. Some would really have trust in me, while others never did. And I told them that I can go as far as doing even an odd job. When people hear odd job, it's associated with, like the low class in a community or the society. It's associated with, like, the people who are not blessed, the people who are not lucky in a way or something. My dear viewers, men and women, boys and girls, as long as it's clean job, clean money, you should never be hesitant of doing what you're doing. So it took me to a great city, or one of the great cities in the world. And I told there, that's a story for another day. I work out, if I may say, my ass off. When you choose you, it's like you're giving yourself the only accurate compass available in your life. We have different compasses, the ones that will give you direction, and that is their work. So it depends direction on what. It could be geographical direction. It could be guidelines on how to do something. Perhaps it could be for business, for those who are in the entrepreneurship industry, and all sides of campuses that may be existing. But as for you to know where you're going, where you're heading, or how well you want to put your life together, you need to choose you all the time. Many a times these people have been given names. As I said before, it's okay to take up those names. It's very much okay. It's much satisfying that you do and give your all than doing things for the sake of doing them, or for the sake of other people, or for the sake of pleasing others, or for the sake of letting situation be or just pass. There's no inner satisfaction that will come with that. And that is part of loving yourself, by the way. Because if you don't love yourself, who will? We are told many a times, even in the Bible, that our fingers are not the same. They differ in heights, they differ in shapes, they differ on their, structural being. They're all different. That is the same way. I can't be you. You can't be me. I can't do you, but I can do me. We may have some things in common. We may have some similarities, but definitely we are all born unique in our own ways. From my experience, I have seen this. I don't know about your experience. Many a times those people who are strong-willed, they will stand firm to their opinions. They will stand firm to their ideas. They will stand firm to their thoughts. And they tend to be, classified like they don't belong. They seem to be classified as the big and tough-headed. They seem to be classified. My main aim was not to prove a point to anyone, but my main aim was to come out of my comfort zone where I was as a teacher, a private school teacher for that matter, those who've been there, I believe you know it, how it does. Those times you would be paid during the term dates or the 3 months that people would have a term on. And in the holiday, most schools weren't paying, or if they pay, they would only do half. Remember, life has to go on. You go to the market, you go to the stores, you go to the supermarket. Everybody faces the same prices. You go to the transportation sector, everybody is facing the same. So there's nothing that would be regulated for maybe those people who don't have salary, or maybe for people who didn't get like enough, or maybe, it's never there. So when I went to that city, I took up the first thing that came and I did it. And for sure, within my will, within my power, and to the glory of God, no single day I went hungry. Not unless I was in poor condition health wise that I couldn't eat, or no appetite, or sometimes when I was battling with ulcers and many other diseases. Story for another day.